What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. We got back-to-back Eddie Hearn interviews. Eddie Hearn is responding to Deontay Wilder's 50-50 or no deal situation. You know, Eddie Hearn was in better spirits. He was more, he was less tolerant in this interview. And he basically said, I'm going to let him have his opinion. I'm going to let the fans decide what is right or what he deserves or what he feels he deserves. I'm not really focused on Wilder. Let him have his interviews. Let him do what he's going to do. Let him talk, because our focus is Jarrell Miller. And he said that Jarrell Miller is actually having a proper sparring training camp, and he's actually taking it seriously. So me hearing that, me counterpunching that, tells me that Jarrell Miller does kind of slack in the training side of things, before. But now he's not. So back to Hearn, he also states that if you start overlooking people, that would be the person that beats you, because he's more determined versus you, because you're looking and your focus is someone else. And Joshua, has extreme focus. He stays in a little apartment. He trains. He's doing what he's supposed to do. And that is a very good sign for both fighters. And plus, he said something that makes a lot of sense. That if he's saying, hey, 50-50, no deal, there's no negotiation. So basically, isn't that what you're offering? You're just offering Eddie Hearn anything. You're not looking for them to offer you anything. You're telling Eddie Hearn, the A side, and Anthony Joshua that, hey, you're gonna give me 50. You gonna give me 50-50, and that's not gonna be in a fight. And he says, well, maybe one day we'll call his bluff. Maybe one day we'll have to call it. But it's up to Anthony Joshua, because again, you guys forget, Eddie Hearn isn't that guy that pretends to run shit. He works for Anthony Joshua, not the other way around. So it's Anthony Joshua's call. So a lot of people blame Eddie Hearn for the fight not getting done. It's not that. He's the representative for what Joshua speaks. You know what I'm saying? He speaks for Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua said it first. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at it like that, instead of, oh man, Eddie Hearn ain't getting his fight done. And back to Eddie, he said that he thinks that if he offered the 50-50, he won't take it. That's why he said I have to call his bluff, because it's like one of those things where maybe he doesn't think he'll get it, or maybe he shouldn't get it. He said that I don't believe that Wilder deserves 50-50, and to counterpunch Eddie Hearn, I have to agree with him on that. But do you know why? It's always with reason and non-biased reasons. Deontay Wilder, I would have no problem if Deontay Wilder's resume was better. But if you go from accepting $15 million, right? And between the $15 million and now, who have you beat? Not who you've been in the ring with. No. Didn't ask you that. Who have you beaten since you agreed to the $15 million? Let that sink in, guys. Just answer me. Who have Deontay Wilder, who has he beaten? He hasn't beaten anyone. You see what I'm saying? So how can you go from 15 million to 100 million and you turn that shit down and you still demand 50-50 to this day? Why? He hasn't beaten anybody. He got a draw. And a lot of people, including myself, thought he lost. Yes, even with the knockdowns. Yes, he did. Because you got to win round by round. You don't score a fight like, oh, well, you got to count the knockdowns. You don't count them at the end. One happened at the very end of the fight, but you don't count, you don't count it like that. You don't start giving Deontay Wilder rounds because he got 2 knockdowns. You don't do that. You got to give him the points on the knockdown rounds and then score each round after that, each individual round by round. Okay? And then he didn't win. So, again, where does he feel that he needs 50-50? And back to Eddie Hearn, he stated that what did he say? He said, well, maybe Deontay Wilder, maybe he doesn't really want the fight, you know? And it seems like that. If you, like, and I've been saying that, you guys know I've been saying that. If you really want to fight, you know what I'm saying? He would have took that fight. But we've already debunked that, counterpunched that. We've done all that already because Deontay Wilder said out of his own mouth that it's not even about the belts no more. So he don't care about being undisputed. He just wanted a little star power, and he got it. And that's good enough for him. So, you know, little does he know, like Eddie Hearn said, and I agree, he's going to have to fight a mandatory. See, because Dillian White's putting pressure on the WBC, in case you guys forgotten. Now, he has to fight him. And really, the thing that Eddie Hearn offered his ass last year with the 8 to 7 million plus the Joshua attachment for the 15, and that's in the 20 million bracket right there, right? 22, 23 million, right? He'll probably end up having to fight him anyway, unless the WBC doesn't do their fucking job, which they're notorious for doing. They're notorious for just, hey, you're fighting Dominique Breazeale, the number 4 in the world. What? Why? So, you know, that could happen. That's a possibility. But by their rules, he is mandated to fight Dillian White. So, you know, a lot of times you're focused or you're talking about this guy and what you won't take for this guy, and then this other guy could knock you out because your focus ain't the other guy. That's why Dominique Breazeale, that fight is very, very dangerous. Because Dominique Breazeale brought in a new trainer, brought in Virgil Hunter. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's a slow fighter, but he can punch. He does have a chin. He ain't chinny. So, you know, that would be the person that he's overlooking, right? But anyway, I have to agree with Eddie Hearn on that. You know, the video that I did before this one explains everything that Joshua has lined up. So, you know, it is. So it's a standstill. But Wilder will have to fight better opponents. He'll have to start fighting someone with some mustard. If not, all that buzz around him is going to fall out of the sky. And that's my counterpunch on that. So you guys tell me what you think about Eddie Hearn's comments. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.